So my name is Dmitry Lisitsky. I'm the CEO of Info2. Yeah, you could start in, yeah.
Thank you, Dmitry. Hi, my name is Eliana, and I'm the head of growth marketing at Persefoni. Just a quick about us. Persefoni is a climate tech company. We help companies measure and calculate their carbon footprint. Businesses of all sizes and complexity and in every industry. And it's a pleasure to be here today.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jane. I am the growth operations lead with Persefoni. So I deal with all of the marketing technology and really doing the implementation, really going into the deep dive of Info2.
And I'm Megan. I am the demand generation manager for a company called StarTree. We are a real-time analytics company based in the Bay Area, and our focus is really on providing companies with real-time data so that they can make informed decisions when they need it.
Yeah, thank you. Well, before we start in talking about your programs, maybe let me just provide some context. So, like, I think revenue marketing has become a very fancy word. Like, many people talk about it just like, as you know, ABM was a hype thing. Now it feels like revenue marketing is another hype thing. And when we talk about revenue marketing, it's a very specific idea, specific playbook, specific way to use it. Though it takes very different implementations and the way we see customers extracting value and getting it could be very different, and that's where we have two different companies talking about this, and you'll see it's kind of really different takes on kind of same idea. So a few words about how we envisioned this was like a year ago when we launched a revenue marketing platform called like Info2 version 2, and it probably deserves its own name now, and we're still thinking about it, but that's how we called it initially. So the concept was that we have person-based advertising, the ability to show ads to specific prospects that you can handpick as if underlying technology, the core technology of our company. But then we tried to make it applicable and useful for like marketers who want to help their sales team to drive revenue, support them throughout this like sales journey, starting from pipeline generation to pipeline progression to winning deals, and supporting this process in different aspects. And obviously, it's kind of lots of elements, lots of potential ways to do it. So we try to provide all the tools and capabilities to leverage person-based advertising, to leverage the fact that you can show ads to your prospects in very different aspects of the buyer journey, and then adjust it to your buyer journey, and then leverage contact level and data that could, we'll talk about this a little later, like how you can actually leverage this. And then the most important thing is just to measure how it actually drives revenue, because like you cannot talk about revenue marketing without talking about revenue, right? So that's what we launched, and like we have early adopters of the platform. So I think the good starting point would be to talk about your company offering and then who you sell to, your ideal customer profile, how you think about this, just a little of the context before we dive into your program.
I can kick it off. Yeah, so for Persefoni, essentially our ICP is any business that is subject to climate disclosure. When we talk about carbon emissions reporting, there's voluntary emissions reporting, and there's also regulated emissions reporting. And we're really looking to target those companies that will be required to report, say for the likes, in the future, near future, the SEC, for example, similar to how companies have to report their financial data as well. In the broad landscape, that's who our target ICP is, but we've really started to break that down into a more granular level, leveraging other sets of criteria and components to break that ICP down further. looking into, whether they're indicating that they're going to build out a decarbonization strategy, or whether they're investing in voluntary reporting. Not going to go into too many acronyms because there are a ton of acronyms in the climate landscape. The number of sustainability professionals that they have within their teams that help indicate a level of maturity within their climate reporting in their team. So, really breaking down that ICP at a more granular level to help inform our targeting as we start to build out our advertising capabilities, our audience segments, and so forth. And then, as we continue to build on that, breaking it down even further by personas within these companies. For us, we have two main buckets in which we break down our personas. They're either within a sustainability persona bucket, and then we build out messaging framework based on what their pain points and drivers are as it relates to their role in the company and what they own. And then we have compliance personas as well. So folks who are within finance, legal, et cetera, they also have their own motivations and drivers as it relates to their role in that company for sustainability reporting. So just really making sure that we're building out the right messaging points and frameworks for these different audience segments.
Yeah, thank you. And then I assume that talking to different personas would assume a different strategy, right? So it's just you wanted to execute differently, sort of different type of ads and that kind of stuff depending on the persona, right?
Absolutely, because ultimately, whether they're going to be a platform user or they're just part of the buying committee, we really need to be able to get their buy-in to close that deal. And in order to be able to do that, we need to tailor our messaging, the content that we serve to them, and how we reach them even, to be able to properly influence everyone who is part of that open opportunity.
Okay, this is awesome. Megan?
Yeah, so at StarTree, we are primarily looking to target data engineers, data architects, and analytics professionals that are really director level and above decision makers. We do help individuals across a broad number of industries, but the primary industries that we are looking to reach would be fintech, telecom, delivery services, ride sharing, and a lot of others, but those are our main ones.
It sounds like everyone needs it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. So speaking about this ICP and your offering, what were the biggest challenges that you had in your go-to-market strategy, and what kind of resonated when you considered revenue marketing inflow offering? Is there specific things that you wanted to address with it? Yeah.
Oh, do you want to go?
You want to start?
Sure, I'll go. So for us, I would say the biggest challenge would be the precision targeting. So we knew who we wanted to target, but we didn't know exactly how to reach out to those individuals. And we wanted to do it in a way that was going to be really mindful of our marketing budget. We didn't want to go the traditional ABM route, essentially where we were going to reach out to individuals just at the account level. So that was one of the biggest challenges for us, was actually getting in front of those individuals. And then we also really wanted to be able to provide our sales team with engagement metrics. So they could know who was, coming to our site, what content or collateral, they had interacted with, so that they could really reach out then in a meaningful way.
Okay. Jane?
Very similar in Persefoni as well. So we had challenges of surfacing actionable insights for sales to actually say, hey, they've done this on our site, they've clicked this ad, all right, well, sales, go at them. Well, they didn't have that visibility. And the other thing also was branding awareness, and we needed to really expand our audiences and a lot of our open opportunities that we had. I think in some of them we had maybe one contact, and it was like, okay, well, we can't just target one person. We need to target a whole bunch. But how do we do this efficiently and also precise, right? Mm-hmm. So that's some of the struggles that we had, and that's kind of where Influ2 comes in.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, and then so it's kind of nice starting nice opener for the next question is about what your buyer journey looks like. Because I assume there are a lot of things happening before you kind of sign, your salespeople sign the deal, and there's a lot of things happening in the marketing side, and there's a lot of things happening on the sales side. So what the buyer journey looks like, and where you envisioned Influ2 in this journey, what piece was kind of relevant for the program we are talking about?
I can jump in real quick. So, I mean, for Persefoni, traditionally for any company, there's, we have the awareness, consideration, and decision stages, and we really try to work to build out what messaging and content we'd like to be able to deliver at each of these different stages, and making sure that, our sales team have the utmost visibility on, for every contact associated to an opportunity or, part of a target account, they know exactly what they're consuming, when they're consuming that content, et cetera, so that they can leverage that for their own personalized outreach as they're having these conversations with these teams. And I think that's where the beauty of Influ2 lies, is that, at an individual contact level, we're not only able to target them, but we're able to surface those insights to our team internally. Right now at this moment, we're hyper-focused on, one of our key challenges is converting high-value accounts within our ICP. So, we're leveraging the Influ2 platform to build out these campaigns to target these accounts at open opportunities, and working with the sales team, making sure that we're reaching the right people within the buying committee. Depending on the company, if you're only going to target at an account level, there might be hundreds of accounts and of contacts, and you won't be spending your budget efficiently targeting folks who are not even part of, whatever you're selling them to. So with Influ2 and working with their team, we're able to really drill down, okay, these are the 20 to 30 contacts at this target account that we want to reach and deliver this message, and be able to effectively, roll out these campaigns.
Yeah, and to add, that's kind of the key differences between Influ2 and some of the other channels. I'm sure folks are using demand-based, 6 Sense, even LinkedIn ads to actually do a lot of their targeting. A lot of it is really account-based, right? And so if you're trying to target enterprise companies, Intel, for example, and you're like, hey, I'm going to target financial managers in Intel. There's probably 200 of them. I don't know if you want to target all 200 of them or specific individuals, whereas in Influ2, they're like, okay, which individuals? We'll put ads wherever they're on social media and make sure that they have the awareness, know your brand everywhere on the website, and that's the power with Influ2.
Yeah, thank you. Megan, what's your situation?
So like Persefoni, we are interested in utilizing Influ2 for the awareness, the consideration, and the decision stage. And currently we are running 3 campaigns within the program dedicated to different stages in the funnel. So we have top of the funnel ads that are really dedicated to showcasing who we are, what our offer is, what our value prop is, and then we are able to seamlessly send people from the top of the funnel then into our middle of the funnel campaign. Our middle of the funnel campaign is segmented out so that we are able to provide a highly relevant experience. So if you're, for instance, within the fintech space, we're able to then show you a fintech use case. If you're in telecom, we're able to show you a telecom case study. And then from there, we move people into bottom of the funnel, which essentially is an invitation for a free consultation or a demo with sales or one of our architects.
Oh, it's just great. So basically, it's, as we say, like there's no one fit all ad for every step of the buyer journey. So you guys kind of thought of like what is the best message we can send, depending on where the buyer is in their journey, right? Like speaking about Persefoni, like how you think about like what was your choice in terms of content, like what worked for you, what didn't work for you, depending, and how you were choosing exactly what kind of messages you sent to, depending on the buyer journey or persona, or what was your decision about that?
Yeah, well, I can say that it really comes down to what their pain points, again, depending on what persona bucket you fall into, you have a different pain point as it relates to sustainability reporting and mapping out content that fits that stage of the journey at where they're at. We have a great example here of a campaign that we ran after a timely moment that happened in the market where the state of California passed a new law requiring that businesses operating in that state would have to disclose their scopes 1, 2, and 3 emissions. And what we did was build out a campaign serving messaging and content related to that event and tied to how our solution helps solve for their pain points that they would have to eventually have to figure out what they're going to do to meet the disclosure requirements that were being announced. So we were able to reach them prior to the, here we have an example of a webinar that we hosted. We were able to reach them prior to the event, during the event, and after the event with tailored messaging for these different moments. And again, targeting the right people. If they attended the webinar, we delivered specific messaging for folks who attended the webinar, which just reaches that next level of personalization.
Okay, thank you. Well, Eliana, you touched a little bit about your, like the process you had with your sales, frenemies, as some people call, how it worked. Like, I think there are basically probably 2 elements, and let's chat about like what was your audience choice? Did you align in terms of what are your priorities, or actually their priorities, who they're going after, how the alignment worked for you?
Yeah, I can speak to that. So we did an ICP exercise with our sales team, and it was like an alignment with sales, right? Because we can't just say, hey, these are the target accounts, go for it. Like, we need feedback from sales. And so working together, we say, okay, these are the accounts that we want to go after. Here's the list. Target them. And I was like, okay, well, there's some that are in open opportunities, some we haven't even engaged with. So what's the best way of doing it? On some of it, we don't even have contacts. So using Influ2, we were able to not just expand our audience. I think, if I remember correctly, we expand our audience up to like, I think, 40%. So basically, in our existing system, we had, of the ICP accounts that we had, only about 1 contact we had for each account, and we expanded that to about now like 3 or 4 for accounts or contacts per account. And so that's like a big expansion for us to like build that out. And then we send all of that information to sales, and we start targeting them with a lot of these ads that we put out in Influ2. And we built out an integration between our marketing automation system, which is HubSpot, to build out Slack alerts for our sales team, and they love it. They're like, eat it all up, basically. One of the feedback we got was, hey, like, I love seeing these notifications because now I can send personalized sales prospecting emails, content related to what they've clicked on their ads. And so that alignment there, we didn't have before.
Yeah, well, I think I just need to explain. So the notifications that you send is based on the contact level engagement data. So whenever someone clicks on the ad, because we know who clicks on this ad, this is a very good signal for salespeople. This person is interested in this topic, so let's reach out to them, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So it's super helpful, especially if we're trying to target like the C-suite, right? And you want to be able to get them. You see them visiting our ad, clicking on it as well. That's where sales needs to kind of take action and then service them either additional content related to what they've clicked or just, hey, you were interested, let's chat.
Continue the conversation.
Yes, continue the conversation.
Great. Megan, what about you guys? How it worked for StarTree?
Yes, so we also are providing our sales team with Slack notifications, so they're able to see contact level data. We also have created individualized dashboards for our sales team within Salesforce, so they can take a look and see which individuals have visited the site, which content they have engaged with, and then they can reach out with personalized, messaging, emails, phone calls, things of that nature.
This is great. Okay, so speaking about what you're currently working on and what kind of results you're seeing, like what's your kind of overall assessment of the program and what's next? What's on your mind in terms of like how we would like to evolve it further?
So with StarTree, I honestly have been very impressed with Influ2. I came from another company where we utilize traditional ABM, and I feel like it was really kind of a shot in the dark. So I knew that I was, reaching individuals within the target company, but I didn't know if those individuals were actually a part of the buying group. Influ2 has really been able to give me those insights that I've lacked, all the way up until this point. So over the past year, I think we've achieved more than 200,000 impressions with Influ2. We've gotten over 1,000 clicks and over 600 highly targeted individuals within our ICP have come to our site and engaged with us. And overall, that's really boosted our pipeline generation, and we've seen over a 3x increase in conversion rates for new opportunities in comparison to just cold outbound.
No, I was just going to chime in for Persefoni. As the regulatory landscape continues to evolve and we see new, regulations being issued by countries globally, we're going to continue to refine our ICP, and with that, we'll be needing to engage with new accounts and contacts at a global level, and we will definitely continue to be partnering with Influ2 on that. With the work that we've done this past year, we've been able to 3x our conversion rates from prospect to opportunity, and we really want to be able to double down on that even more. From a pipeline generation perspective as well, continue to go down at a more granular level as we're building out our buyer journeys within the platform, which I absolutely love that feature and functionality in the platform. and just go as granular as we possibly can to really personalize our outreach.
Great, awesome, sounds awesome. Well, we only have like 3 minutes left, so it's just kind of just to wrap up. This is actually called Lunch and Learn, and so like what's your advice? Like, well, first, do you feel yourself as a revenue marketer that actually like have like has meaningful impact to sales process? And second, what's your advice to those who are just considering doing similar programs? Like where to start? What are the biggest like challenges to like or problems to avoid, or any advice that you might have out of your mind, like to those who are just starting their revenue marketing programs?
My number one advice is to have the tightest communication loops with your sales team. If you do not communicate with your sales team and have good feedback loops, it will be really difficult for you to be successful with your ABM programs. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It takes a lot of work. It's not easy, but you will reap the rewards of that afterwards. It was one of our biggest challenges, and leveraging technology and platforms like Influ2 can really help ease the burden in doing that.
I think my advice would really test. We used Influ2 in so many different ways until we found out, I'm like, oh my God, we can totally do it this way, and there's so many ways of using a technology. There might be ways that you didn't think of before that you can test out and it works. I mean, I think with Influ2 we were, I think we're 8 months or probably more in, and we saw value like 3 months in. And we're like, oh gosh, this is going to be interesting for us to use.
Yeah, thank you. Megan, would you like to add?
Man, you guys took the good ones.
That's why I was quick.
No, in reality, I think what they just said was 2 really key points, and the only thing that I would add to that would be to consider really utilizing the platform to do segmentation. We've seen great success in being able to show highly relevant content. So having those insights and knowing that you're serving fintech to fintech and telecom to telecom, things of that nature, has been really key for us and something that I would recommend.
Okay, thank you. Well, I think we are like it's last minute of our session, so we don't want to keep people. I think it's going to be next session coming. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate you came here, shared your experience, and like if anyone has any questions, we're happy to answer after the session. But yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.